Now, I got a question for you. Okay. You can even consider this a TikTok challenge. Okay. Now, it's no secret. The Declaration of Independence gave us the Constitution and became the law of the land. Supreme law above laws. It's been said that any law repugnant to the United States Constitution is null and void, cannot stand, cannot be enforced. Okay, so since this is a law of land, okay, this was written a long time ago, 1776, July 4th. Okay. Now imagine if this law was enforced. Imagine if everybody respected the law of the land. I'm pro-Constitution. Okay, when it comes to politics, I am apolitical. I'm a constitutionalist. I called that when I was young. Got my ass kicked for it. You know, growing up in this country was kind of dangerous for a Mexican American in Chicano, because when I was growing up, cops would pull up on me and ask me for a green card. I didn't even know what one was. They always thought I didn't speak English. I only speak English. I'm single-lingual, not bilingual. When I was growing up, it was dangerous to speak Spanish in public because that could get you hurt, arrested, put in the hospital, and then arrested. But see, I read this in 71. And by that time, I realized there was no truth to this. Even though it's the law of the land, it never applied to me. And eventually I figured out it didn't apply to we as well, we the people. I mean, if this was the law of the land, which it is, and everybody respected it. Well, listen to what it says. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Let me reiterate that. I'm going to put it on today's terms. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now, if this were true, and everybody respected the law of the land, who would be claiming we are a theocracy, a Christian country? Ooh, I mean, it's clearly in defiance of the law of the land. You know, when this was written, people from around the world came here to fight for this. If you watched my video in honor of the 4th of July, respect those that were there. They were offered emancipation, and it was pulled shortly after they won the war, shortly after they seized the day. They gave the power, the strength to write the unanimous Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. So who would be claiming this is a Christian country? And think about it. If this were true, there wouldn't have been a civil war, because the Civil War was about slavery. Abraham Lincoln reiterated in the Gettysburg Address that our forefathers brought upon this continent. And this is what they brought forth. It's just that after it was withdrawn, and Lincoln said, hey, you know, don't you think it's about time we live up to the law of the land, you know? No more shattered dreams because of all these broken promises. This is what got these people to help fight for our independence, and yet we took it from them. This is the free stuff that a lot of people are complaining that they ain't getting. Their constitutional rights, civil rights, the Bill of Rights, and as United States citizens, their birthrights. So, would there have been a civil war? Ladies, would there have been a suffrage movement? And history tells it ended when women got the vote, and only white women got the vote, and there were black women out there as well, and quite possibly other minorities. But as well noted, there were black women out there, and they didn't get the vote. They didn't get it till some years later. And actually, black men got the vote before white women did. But would there have been the suffrage movement? Would there have been a civil rights movement? Would Martin Luther King have had a dream? Would he have given a speech about it? I still have a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. One day that this nation will rise up to its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all are created equal. I have a dream. Martin Luther King, 1963. There would be so much less talked about, so much less fighting. If so many people weren't opposed to the law of the land. Keeping your rights from you, privation of rights under the color of law. Stop and think to yourself, how many have conspired to deprive you of rights under the color of law, legally known as a conspiracy against rights under the color of law? This has been happening since the Constitution was written, and it's still happening now. Read the Public Trust Doctrine. What's happening in Florida? Conservationists. You should read the Public Trust Doctrine. That is the law. People worried about their air quality, their water quality, the quality of the land, and the pollution. Refer to the Public Trust Doctrine. Use that law. Make things happen. Use the law. Okay. They call it alligator Alcatraz. That's beyond cruel and unusual punishment. What does the Constitution say about that? And all it is making a political statement. Defiant of the Constitution. I'm pro-Constitution, folks. I believe that we all have these rights. I have always held these truths to be self-evident, that all are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator, whether it be a Jew, Muslim, Catholic such as myself, Puritan, you name it. This country was built on the freedom of religion and the freedom of religion. You cannot force your religious beliefs on others. So says the Constitution. So many laws written in the name of religion, contrary to the Constitution, contrary to the rule of professional conduct. In the preamble, it clearly states what is done must be done in the public interest, not in a parochial interest or the interests of the bar. But if this was actually happening, if this was actually happening right here, would there be so many phobias, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, you know? And speaking as a Mexican American, a Chicano, the son of a Mexican immigrant, I've been dealing with this all my life. On the other side, my mom, her dad's a World War II guy, okay, or was. He passed in 72, 73. And imagine reading this 10 years old, knowing you never had a shot. So people, do as I do as I say, and do as I ask. Learn the law. You're going to have to fight for your inalienable rights, as if your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness counted on it. Your constitutional rights are not a given. They are earned. You must read to succeed. If you want a fair trial, you want to see due process happen, you need to know what effective assistance of counsel is and how nobody's abiding by that. Clearly, conspiracy against rights under the color of law. And that wouldn't be happening. If you knew what I knew, and I'm trying to give that to you. Knowledge is not a given, it's a taken. What I post, what I write, what I talk about, that's up to you to take and listen to. You can only absorb that information as I did, is to take it into your own hands, reading yourself and putting it in your own mind. I'm not asking you to believe me, I'm asking you to believe yourself. Open your eyes, you'll open your mind, and with any luck, it'll open your heart as much as it did mine. You want to judge me by the content of my character? It's right here, the United States Constitution. And judge me by the content of my heart, which is we the people. And when I pledge allegiance, I swore to serve and protect. Thank you. Thank you for listening. May your Creator always rain many blessings. And if the public trust doctrine was abided by, you would literally live a long life and have good health. And that's what I want for you, long life and good health. Thank you. God bless.